The UK is currently facing one of its driest springs in over a century, but here are a few ways you can help the local wildlife. Hey everyone, welcome back to Only Nature. If you're new here, my name is Tom and I create videos sharing my passion for nature and wildlife. But in this video, I want to talk about how you can help wildlife in your local area through a heat wave or drought. So let's get into it. Of course, I had to mention my wildlife pond, but as you can see, the water level is really low. It's usually at about this level here, and so far it just keeps going down. I stand by that it is one of the best ways you can help wildlife in your area, particularly during this heat wave or drought. But just remember that ponds can still dry out, and I've actually had that problem with my smaller pond at the back. That's one reason I would always recommend having a slightly deeper part of your pond. But if that's not possible, the best thing to do is keep a local storage of rainwater that you can simply refill the pond with. This will really help in the long run and see you through those longer dry spells. Now, I know not everybody has access to a garden where they can create a wildlife pond, or they have limited space. So the next best option would be a bird bath, and they can come in all different shapes and sizes. A bird bath might not seem like much, but during these dry spells, it can be a real lifeline. It's those little things that make a big difference. That's really what Only Nature is all about, doing what I can to help wildlife and sharing that process with you all. So I quickly wanted to mention that I've added channel memberships as a way to support that, in helping support me create videos like this one and get hands-on in helping nature directly. If you're enjoying my channel and want to go a step further, then that option is there. But honestly, if you're enjoying these videos, keep liking them, keep commenting. It all means a lot, so thank you. Now, bird baths don't have to be very large, and in fact, this one next to me is tiny. It's no bigger than the size of my hand. But I know for a fact that birds will use this throughout the day. And the only problem with that is it does tend to dry up really quickly. So if you've got a small bird bath, just remember to keep it topped up regularly. Now, you don't even have to buy a bird bath. I'm sure there are lots of household objects readily available to most of you. And just something to bear in mind, you always want a shallower tray as opposed to a deeper one. Make sure that any wildlife can always escape. You don't want young chicks this time of year falling in and potentially drowning in any water. And of course, water isn't just essential for drinking, it actually really helps birds in looking after their plumage, particularly this time of year when they're diving in and out of nest boxes, as you can see from the blue tits in this image. I've been watching this blue tit nest for over a month now, and in that time, whilst I've seen her collecting nesting materials and creating that amazing mossy bed, she soon changed roles to feeding lots of hungry mouths. And of course, this is a very demanding time in their lives. Naturally, over time, this blue tit started to look a little bit worse for wear, and that's where it becomes really important for this adult bird to really maintain that plumage. It keeps her healthy and of course able to look after these young. So one simple and inexpensive way of creating a bird bath is to use something like this plant pot saucer. And they can come in a wide range of sizes and different depths. But if you're using a plastic one like this one that I'm using, then I definitely recommend just adding a few larger stones to it. This will really help it stop in getting flipped over by sudden gusts of wind, and placing it on the ground makes it more accessible to different species, whether it's birds or mammals that are visiting your garden. However, there is a downside to this. And if you've got a lot of cats in your area, then placing a water source high up like this will definitely make it safer for the local birds. I placed this one outside, and within 24 hours, birds were already drinking and bathing from it. So it just shows even that smallest bowl will be really helpful to them. And here's an interesting fact. We've actually had more sunshine here in the UK this spring than we did for the entire summer of 2024. That's just crazy. Another thing you can do for wildlife is to create a brush pile. I've talked about them in the past, but in this case, you can actually add wet leaves and damp material to that pile, and this will create an amazing habitat for things like amphibians, insects, rodents, and even in some parts of the world, reptiles will really appreciate this. So that's it from me. I hope you found this video useful. Get out there, get creative, get helping wildlife, and above all, subscribe for future videos. I'll see you in the next one.